Want to know what to expect when you first start a YouTube channel? I'm going to reveal 5 critical life lessons that happened to me when I started my YouTube channel as a 72-year-old retired baby boomer that's on the ADHD spectrum. And while all of these lessons may sound obvious, taking them in and embracing them will help you understand yourself much more deeply. Stick around till the end of the video to see the analytics of my channel since I published my first video 4 weeks ago. Life lesson number 1. Learning to stop hating the sound of your own voice. Have you ever cringed upon hearing a recording of your voice and thought, do I really sound like that? You're not alone. I absolutely hated to hear my own recorded voice. It just didn't sound like what I thought it does. This near universal discomfort stems from both physiological and psychological factors. The science behind the disconnect. Number 1, bone conduction versus air conduction. When you speak, your voice reaches into your ears 2 ways. Bone conduction are the vibrations traveling through your jawbone and skull, making your voice sound deeper and richer. Then there's air conduction. Sound waves travel through the air to your ears as others hear it. Recordings only capture the air-conducted version, which lacks internal resonance that you're used to hearing. This creates a mismatch between what you expect and what is actually heard. Number 2, higher pitch perception. Without the bone-conducted vibrations, your recorded voice often sounds higher pitched and thinner than you perceive it internally, which can feel alien. There are also psychological factors. Self-identity conflict. Your voice is a key part of your identity. Hearing it differently on a recording can feel like meeting a stranger, disrupting how you perceive yourself. Number 2, unfamiliarity. Just as people might dislike unexpected angles and photos of themselves, the unfamiliarity of your own recorded voice can be unsettling. It's not inherently bad, just different. Number 3, harsh self-criticism. People tend to judge their own voices more harshly than others do. Studies show that listeners often rate their voices more positively when unaware that it's their own. How to get comfortable with your voice. Exposure therapy. Regularly listening to recordings of yourself to reduce the shock factor over time. I know I listened to myself over and over and over again when I was doing my videos. Reframe your perspective. Remember that others are accustomed to this version of your voice. It's not as strange to them as it is to you. Voice training. Adjusting pitch or tone through practice can help align your perception with reality. Ultimately, embracing your recorded voice is about accepting its uniqueness. After all, it's how the world already knows you. Life lesson number 2, the paradoxical thinking about how difficult starting a channel is. The paradox of thinking it's harder than it looks, but finding out that it's not as hard as you thought. While this sounds contradictory, and it is, there is something to be said about paradoxical thinking. Creating content for YouTube is a journey full of paradoxes. At first glance, it seems deceptively simple. Just hit record, upload, and watch the views roll in. Yet, as many creators quickly discover, the reality is far more complex. The process involves scripting, filming, editing, optimizing for algorithms, and engaging with an audience. But it's not as easy as it looks. And here's the twist. Once you dive in and learn the ropes, you realize it's also not as hard as you initially feared. The paradox of simplicity. When we watch polished videos online, we often overlook the effort behind them. Good videos published by experienced creators can make it look easy. But from brainstorming to ideas to mastering technical tools like cameras and editing software, every step requires dedication. The challenge of standing out amidst millions of uploads can feel overwhelming. Yet, with persistence and creativity, even small creators can carve out a niche. The paradox of growth. Starting out can be intimidating. Your first videos may feel amateurish or awkward, and they probably are. Many creators cringe when revisiting their early work. However, this discomfort is part of growth. With each upload, you improve your skills, whether it's speaking confidently on camera or refining your editing techniques. The process itself teaches you resilience and adaptability. The paradox of rewards. Monetization and recognition often seem like distant dreams for new creators. Meeting YouTube's requirements for revenue generation demands consistent effort. Yet, the true reward lies in the unexpected benefits, improved communication skills, creative fulfillment, and a sense of community. So, paradoxically, making YouTube videos is both harder and easier than it seems. It challenges us to push beyond our comfort zones while revealing strengths we didn't know we had. So embrace the paradox, because within it lies potential for growth, creativity, and connection. Life lesson 3. Perfection is the enemy of the good enough and other fears of failure. Why perfectionism is the enemy of good enough for YouTube creators. Especially for somebody that is on the ADHD spectrum like me, all too often I would find myself hesitating finishing a project until it was perfect. And of course, we all know that there is no such thing as perfect. Perfectionism leads to procrastination. Perfectionism doesn't believe in progress. It demands an unattainable ideal. When we aim for perfection, we set impossibly high standards. As a result, we delay posting videos because they're not quite there yet. Days turn into weeks and weeks into months. Meanwhile, opportunities to connect with your audience slip away. Remember, consistency is key on YouTube. Posting regularly helps you grow faster than obsessing over one perfect video. Good enough is better than nothing. Your audience values the content you share more than the flawless execution of every detail. A video that's 80% good enough, but posted today, will always outperform one that's 100% perfect, but delayed indefinitely. Each video you publish is an opportunity to learn, improve, and engage with your viewers. Number 3, perfectionism stifles creativity. The endless pursuit of perfection drains your energy and creativity. Instead of generating fresh ideas or experimenting with new formats, you're stuck reworking old projects. This not only leads to burnout, but also blocks your growth as a creator. Progress comes through practice. The best way to improve your skills isn't by perfecting one video. It's by creating many. Each upload teaches you something new. What resonates with your audience? What works technically? And how to streamline your processes. Growth comes from doing, not delaying. Number 5, the algorithm rewards consistency. YouTube's algorithm favors creators who post frequently and consistently. By letting go of perfectionism, you can focus on maintaining steady rhythm of uploads, keeping your audience engaged and your channel visible. Voltaire once said, "The perfect is the enemy of the good." Your audience doesn't expect perfection. They expect authenticity, value, and consistency. Remember, perfectionism doesn't believe in progress. It demands an unattainable ideal. But good enough keeps you moving forward, building momentum, and growing as a creator. Progress beats perfection every time. A video that's 80% good enough, but posted today, will always outperform one that's 100% perfect, but delayed indefinitely. Life lesson number 4, learning to accept criticism as a chance to improve. One of the most powerful tools for growth is something we often shy away from: constructive criticism. When I first started my channel, I was excited, maybe even a little nervous, about putting my content out there for the world to see. It took nearly 3 months for me to publish my first video. I poured my heart into creating videos that I hoped would resonate with people, but no matter how much effort I put in, there was always feedback. Some of it was positive and encouraging, while some of it was, well, let's just say it wasn't what I wanted to hear at the time. It's completely natural to feel defensive when someone critiques your work. After all, our creations are extensions of ourselves. They're personal. But here's the truth. Constructive criticism isn't an attack on who you are. It's an opportunity to become better at what you do. Why constructive criticism matters. Constructive criticism is like a mirror. It reflects areas where we can improve, areas where we might not see on our own. It's not about tearing us down, it's about helping us build something stronger. As creators, we're constantly learning and experimenting. Feedback gives us insights into how our audience perceives our content, helps us refine our craft. Think about some of the most successful creators out there, whether they're filmmakers, artists, or YouTubers. They didn't get to where they are by ignoring feedback. They embraced it. They used it as fuel to push their boundaries and create something extraordinary. How to embrace constructive criticism. So how do we learn to accept constructive criticism with grace and use it effectively? Here are a few things that have helped me. Shift your perspective. Instead of seeing criticism as a negative thing, view it as a gift, a chance to grow. When someone takes the time to provide thoughtful feedback, they're investing in your potential. Separate yourself from your work. Remember that criticism is about your content, not you as a person. It's easy to take things personally, but separating yourself from your work allows you to approach feedback objectively. Listen with an open mind. Not all feedback will be helpful or constructive, but when someone offers genuine advice, listen carefully. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Ask questions. If you don't understand the feedback or need clarification, don't hesitate to ask questions. This shows that you're genuinely interested in improving. And last, take action. The most important step is applying what you've learned. Whether it's tweaking your editing style, improving sound quality, or refining your storytelling, use feedback as a roadmap for growth. Turning criticism into motivation. I've come to see constructive criticism as a form of collaboration between me and my audience. It's their way of saying, I believe in your potential. And that belief motivates me to keep pushing forward, to create better videos, tell better stories, and connect more deeply with the people watching. As creators, we have the privilege of sharing our voice with the world. But with that privilege comes responsibility. The responsibility to listen, learn, and grow. Constructive criticism isn't always easy to hear, but it's one of the most valuable tools we have on this journey. So today, I encourage all of you, whether you're new creators like me or seasoned veterans, to embrace constructive criticism with open arms. Let it challenge you, let it inspire you, and let it guide you toward becoming the best version of yourself, not just as a creator, but as a person. Life lesson number 5. Get over yourself. Nobody cares as much as you do. I never thought I could do it, put myself out there, like on YouTube, to overcome that feeling. I watched a lot of creators from all walks of life, and I listened to the sage advice of YouTube gurus who often stated, get over yourself. Nobody cares as much about your content as you do. When you start your YouTube journey, it's easy to fall into the trap of overthinking. What will people think? Will they judge me? Will I fail publicly? But here's the truth. Most people are too busy with their own lives to give your content more than a passing thought. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect. The idea that we believe we're the center of attention, when in reality, everyone else is focused on themselves. This realization isn't meant to discourage you, it's meant to free you. It means you can create without fear of judgment. You can experiment, you can fail, and learn without the weight of others' opinions crushing on your creativity. Nobody cares if your first video is awkward or if your editing isn't perfect. What matters is that you care. Your passion and persistence are what will make you better over time. But here's another layer to this. Humility. True humility isn't self-deprecation. It's shifting focus from yourself to others. Instead of obsessing over how your content reflects on you, ask yourself, how does my content serve my audience? Are you answering their questions, inspiring them, or solving their problems? When you prioritize serving others, your work naturally becomes more impactful and memorable. So get over yourself, not because you don't matter, but because focusing less on yourself will help you grow as a creator. Embrace the indifference of the world and use it as your fuel to create boldly and authentically. Remember, the best creators aren't shouting, "Look at me!" They're saying, "Here's something valuable for you." Realizing the fact that nobody cares as much as you do can become your superpower because it frees you from worry about judgment from others. Worry that would otherwise stifle all of your creativity. So, there you have it. 5 life lessons learned from starting my YouTube channel. I hope this has been informative and understandable. I plan to upload new videos each week, so please like and subscribe. Click the notification so you'll know when to check back. Thank you for watching. I hope you will come back to see the next and future videos.